Morning! Today in SLoR we're going to be able to read closely to obtain specific information. So have a think about the story we read yesterday. What do we know so far? What characters have we met? And was there any new language that you came across? So what does read closely mean? When you're reading closely, you are looking carefully at the detail of what you are reading. It's a bit like being a detective looking for all the clues. So if we have a look at the sentence in the green box, it says the old rickety table was set with 4 shiny knives and 4 shiny forks. So if we think about the nouns in that sentence, so the nouns are the table, knives and forks. What detail do we know about them? Well done. We know that the table is old and rickety, and we know that there were 4 shiny knives and 4 shiny forks. That's what reading closely means, looking at all the detail. Now let's have a think about this sentence a little bit more. How many people do we think are eating at the table? How do you know? Well done. There are 4 people eating at the table because there were 4 knives and 4 forks. So this tells us that there were 4 people eating at the table. Let's have a look at a trickier sentence. So, beneath the busy market stall, his filthy hands eagerly counted the few dirty coins he had managed to earn today. So let's have a look at the nouns. So we have stall, hands, and coins. So think about what detail we can find out about them. We know his hands were filthy, they were dirty. We know that the market stall was busy, and we know that he had few dirty coins, so he didn't have many coins at all, and that his coins were dirty. Some extra detail is easy for us to find because it says it clearly in the text. So have a look at a couple of these examples. So the first one says, a spiky green cactus leaned lazily against the windowsill. We know that the cactus was green and spiky because it tells us that in the text. The picture inside the wooden frame was dusty and untouched. We know that the picture frame was dusty and it hadn't been touched for a long time because it tells us in the text. Without the sound of the ticking clock, the enormous room would have been silent. So we know the room is big because it tells us it's enormous, and we know that there is a clock ticking because it tells us that in the text. Sometimes the information isn't as obvious and we have to find hidden information. So it says beneath the busy market stall. So where were his hands? Well, we know he was underneath the market stall because it says beneath. And if we think about how much money he earned, we knew that he didn't manage to earn much money because it says there were a few coins, which means he didn't have many. So sometimes we have to think about the hidden information we are told. There's some information that we can guess, and this is harder to look for because we need to make a guess based on what we already know, and this is called inference. This is when you read with your brain. You have to think about what you're reading. So, beneath the busy market stall, his filthy hands eagerly counted the few dirty coins he had managed to earn today. Now, I can guess from this that the man is poor because he hasn't earned much money and he's counting it to see how much he's got. I can also guess that he wants to buy something because he's counting it eagerly, which means he's counting it enthusiastically. He's desperate to know how much money he has. So he must be wanting that money to buy something. Now have a go. What can you guess and where are the clues? So the first sentence says she flew straight down the narrow chimney, watching her wings on her sides as she fell. The tatty football whizzed through into the goal with a splat and a squelch. Yet again the sound of the pouring rain beat against the roof of his tiny boat. So think about what information you can guess from these sentences. Pause it and have a go. Okay, let's have a look and see if you did an informed guess. So in the first sentence, you can guess that she is a bird because she flew and has wings. We can also guess that she didn't mean to fly down because it said that she fell. In the second sentence, we can guess that the football was old and well used because it says it was tatty. We can also guess that it was muddy or had been raining because the ball made a splat sound. In the last sentence, we can guess that it rains often because it says yet again. We can also guess that the man might be fed up of the rain because it's making a loud noise on the roof of his boat. So let's have a look at the story we read yesterday. Have a think and answer these questions. So when will Will open his eyes, and how did Will know there was a fire? So pause and answer these questions. Have a look at the next part of the story that we also read yesterday. Why did Will shake his sister by the shoulder? Why did Peg want Will to stop? Where were the family when they were safe? Pause and answer those questions.